You are watching Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to talk about, well, my top 10 favorite Switch physical games. I know that's a little bit of a esoteric and kind of long and pointed, weirdly specific list, but here's how it goes. We've got about 15 physical games for the Nintendo Switch currently. And I'm gonna pick my top 10. I'm not counting Sonic Mania in here because that has a digital code instead of a physical copy. So I've got 15 games here, and I'm gonna decide out of these 15 which order they would go in a top 10. And then I'm going to put that out, which ones are the best so far. We've got a lot in here. These are our candidates. We have Cave Story Plus, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I Am Setsuna, The Binding of Isaac, Puyo Puyo and Tetris, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, ARMS, Mario Kart Deluxe, Splatoon 2, Disgaea 5 Complete, Pokken Tournament Deluxe, Has-Been Heroes, Ultra Street Fighter 2, Super Bomberman R, and Fate Extella the Umbral Star. So, let's get down to business and decide which are our top 10. Now, I'm just going to go through the process of sorting these in front of you, and then we're going to have our final list. Well, we need to remove 5 games from this particular list. And looking at that, I'm going to have to take out Super Bomberman R. I've got to drop out 5 from here. Now, Fate Extella the Umbral Star, pretty good game, kind of a, it kind of like hypes me up for Warriors, but still going to take that out of the list. Cave Story stays, Binding of Isaac stays, Mario plus Rabbids stays, I Am Setsuna, we'll think about it. We'll put that as a maybe. ARMS, Legend of Zelda stays, Splatoon 2 stays. Okay, Has-Been Heroes stays. Pokken Tournament Deluxe, while it's a pretty good game, it's in my top 15, but I don't think it would be in my top 10. Disgaea 5 Complete, another one that wouldn't be in my top 10. Okay, so we've got 4 that we removed. Trying to think about what to remove from here. I'm probably going to have to go with I Am Setsuna. So, this is our top 10 left. Let's try and figure out what order I should put these into. Well, I feel Ultra Street Fighter 2 should be somewhere high on this list. By high I mean like closer to 9. Puyo Puyo Pop should be somewhere around there. Has-Been Heroes is a, let's see, let me think about this for a moment. Actually, I could probably do this in my head real quick. Okay, here's how this is going to go. Okay, number 10, Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers. Number 9, Puyo Puyo Tetris, because the multiplayer is just as good as Street Fighter. Number 8, Has-Been Heroes. Fantastic game once you get to try it out and play it. Followed by Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know it's a port, but I like it. And then we're going to follow that up with Splatoon 2. Yeah, Splatoon 2 is my number 6 on this list. Followed by 5, which would be Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Then The Binding of Isaac Plus Afterbirth. Cave Story Plus. And then it's down to ARMS and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I'm going to put down as this. Pretty obvious list. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite physical game for the Nintendo Switch at this time, followed very closely by ARMS. And there you go. That's been a top 10 list of physical ones. We should do one which just accounts just the digital, because that is an entirely different market where a lot of these would change, actually, in comparison to that. Because there are a lot of fantastic games on the eShop, like, for example, SteamWorld Dig 2, Comico, Slime Sand, Monster Boy, Wonder Boy, and the Dragon's Trap. That one's fantastic. Lots of great games like Thumper and such. But yeah, this is my top 10 physical games for the Nintendo Switch at this time. Today is September 26, 2017, and goodness knows what this list will look like at the end of the year. So, let me know in the comments below if you agree with my list. I mean, I've put over almost 400 hours into Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I pop into this game sometimes to walk around and pick up stuff off of trees for like 30 minutes. I do a lot in this game. So of course it's my favorite one. ARMS, though, just keeps getting better and better and better with every update. Just fantastic title. Cave Story Plus just added co-op mode and so much more stuff to it. They keep adding music soundtracks to it. They keep adding to the game. Definitely worth it to buy it physically. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is getting some new content, and it's such an addictive game. I spent so much time on this on the 3DS, on the new 3DS, and I still spend some time on it on the Switch. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Haven't beaten it yet, but as I keep going, it just keeps getting better and better. I just wish it had multiplayer, which was competitive and not cooperative. Splatoon 2 is fantastic, but sometimes going through it just feels like, okay, I'm going to play a couple matches so I can get new clothes, and then I leave. It really does need some new modes and some more stages quicker. It's still a good game, though, and fantastic for playing, although it is really frustrating in Salmon Run and when everyone doesn't cover their base. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I love that all the characters are unlocked when you start out. Fantastic game. I'm not amazing at it, but I do like it. It's really good at multiplayer. Has Been Heroes is a game that when I first bought it, I played about 30 minutes or so. I was like, I don't know if I want to keep this or not. And then it clicked. After a little bit, it kind of clicked. I have to thank the people at Penny Arcade for kind of getting me to go back to this game and then realizing, wait, like through what they were talking about it, how the mechanics properly worked. And the updates to make it even clearer and to explain game mechanics even better have made this a much better game. It's really cheap too. You can get it for like $10 often at GameStop, and you should. If you're a fan of hardcore RPGs or hardcore tower defense, Has Been Heroes is your jam. You can play it anywhere too. Puyo Puyo Tetris is Tetris with 4 players, and Puyo Puyo with 4 players. It's a fantastic and amazing game, and it is definitely worth checking out, and Sega is updating it with more content. Now, Ultra Street Fighter 2, I really would like them to do an update for this where they add back in the car braking bonus stage. And they need to fix a little bit of the online because it is just Violent Kin and Evil Ryu. That's just the only thing people seem to pick, and it's a shame. Local multiplayer on this, though, is fantastic, and it's one of the reasons why I want to get a fighting stick for this system. I mean, here I am looking at Sanwa buttons and bat top customization for the Nintendo Hori Real Arcade Pro Hayabusa, and I'm like, yeah, this is because of Neo Geo arcade games and Ultra Street Fighter 2. You know, you have to say something. A game is pretty special if I'm willing to go out and buy a controller specifically for it. Speaking of which, if anybody wants to port like Virtual On and then put out a controller specifically for that, Sega, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Is it Sega or From Software that makes that? I forget. Been a while. But yeah, that's my top 10 physical Switch games as of September, I think 26, 2017. We'll see where this list is in a couple months. The ones that didn't make it out of my 15, I Am Setsuna, completely worth importing. Great game. Lost Sphere looks even better. I actually like the piano soundtrack. I just wish that the story were a little bit better. Disgaea 5 complete. You can get lost in this thing for hours and hours and hours. I just wish that I'd known that before I found out that you couldn't really carry the demo data over to the final game. It's like, what? No? So I lost hours and hours into this game on the demo, and then I couldn't bring it over to the final one. Oh well. Pokemon Tournament DX. Just picked this one up. I actually do have like the two Pokemon Tournament DX controllers. I'm playing through it a little bit. The story mode essentially is extremely long so far, and so far I'm actually really liking it, but I'm going to give it a little bit more time and play more online before I decide whether or not it ends up in my top 10. Fate X Stella, the Umbral Star, fantastic game. It was on originally on the the PS3 and the Vita, and pretty good. Somewhat suggestive in points, but it's marvelous. What are you going to expect from them? They're pretty good though. Game is great. It's got some Warriors Muso style gameplay, and I'm just cutting my teeth on this until Fire Emblem Warriors comes out. Super Bomberman R, they're giving it new content and making it better. When it first came out, it was actually pretty bad, and then they fixed so much of it. 8-player is fun, the online is okay, but generally, I mean, it's a good game. Any of these could definitely be like my top 11. But I mean, there hasn't been a bad physical retail game that I've purchased or picked up. They've all been good. And that's actually a good testament to the system. It's been out for about 7 months, and like here's 15 physical games and countless digital games that are all good. But yeah, that's my list. Let me know if you agree with my list, and tell me that in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit that share button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And make sure that if you hit that subscribe button, that you ring that little bell so that you are notified whenever we have a brand new episode of Area DMG. Until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.